Good morning and welcome to Empowering a Vision Board. One of the best ways that I know of creating your dream life is to start with a great blueprint, a vision board. It's revealed my home, my soulmate, my health, my ministry, and so much more. My name is Gail Morton, and I am here this morning with my 5 ministerial student colleagues and friends to support you in creating an empowering vision board. Let's introduce each one right now and have each share their favorite affirmation. Hey, Cheryl, why don't you start us out?
Hi, I'm Cheryl Guest, and my affirmation is, today will be a gorgeous day to remember, full of joy and serenity.
Hi, my name is Brad Wenker, and my affirmation is, subconscious mind in me knows everything.
And my name is Dale Olansky, and my favorite affirmation is, wherever I am, God is.
And my name is Lori Savage, and my favorite affirmation is, my life unfolds perfectly. I am the divine flow of life.
Wow, those are beautiful. And for me, my favorite affirmation is very simple. I can. So it's really fun that we introduced ourselves by sharing affirmations, because vision boards often contain statements of beliefs, which are affirmations. So with these great introductions in mind, this is the team that's going to be guiding you through the vision board process and experience this morning. So if you were here with us last week, visioning brought forth what mattered to you the most in all 4 areas of your life structures of health, of relationships, of finances, and creative expression. And it's a big undertaking to contemplate your whole life, so way to go. And if this vision board session is our first time together, that's perfect too, because we're going to provide the essential questions that you need to open up great possibilities and create a balanced vision for your life. So what exactly is a vision board? Well, it's a simple visualization tool, and it serves as your vision for the future. Think of it as a kind of a physical representation of where you're going, where you're headed. And then what does a vision board look like? Well, Cheryl's going to show us in just a minute. It's really a board of any type that's used to build a collage. And the collage is of images, of pictures, of words, of affirmations that all represent your goals and your dreams. So how do you create a vision board for the future, that future that you dream of? Well, I'm going to describe the process for you in just a few simple steps, and then we're going to jump in together and we're going to try it. So today's vision board is going to be about creating goals around the 4 life structures: your health, relationships, finances, and creative expression. Think of these 4 structures as the legs of a table. Each one needs to be strong, it needs to be stable, and it needs to be balanced to support your amazing life. And by the way, if you have another vision for your board today, just follow your gut and go ahead and create it. So here is step 1. In order to visualize your goals, you need to know what they are. Hence the download, if you were envisioning last week, or the guidance that we're going to give you today in today's vision board session. And that guidance is going to be in the form of questions. Let me give you an example. So one might be, what images reflect my vision of the health I am ready to experience? Another might be, what words express my vision of the relationships that I'm ready to experience? Or the third, what symbols represent my vision of the health I am ready to experience? So those are some great examples that you'll be hearing from us in this session today. Step 2 then is finding images that represent your goals, and most important, those that speak to your heart in a meaningful way. And quick tip there, be playful. What I like to do is to put on some music and belt out a song or dance to my favorite tune. But you do what feels good to you to stay connected to your passion itself and to create a vision board for your life, one that you love. So this step, finding images that represent your goals, can take hours or even days. So today's goal is to get you started in the right direction. And once you have your images, it's going to be time for step 4. Make a collage out of your selections. So the collage can be made on a poster board or a cork board. You might decide to use a virtual board. Any of those ways, the concepts are the same. It all works. And as you want your vision for your life to be focused on how you want to feel versus just a bunch of stuff, add words, affirmations on your board that describe how you want to feel on a daily basis. So like joyful or abundant, you want to feel powerful or loved. And that's step 5. So once your vision board is complete, the final step is to take a few minutes every day to step back and contemplate your vision board, keeping your goals top of mind, because what you're doing is training your consciousness to attract what you truly desire as your life. So with my vision board, I like to spend time every morning and every evening visualizing, affirming, believing, and internalizing my goals. And as you do this, your vision board is going to become a demonstration board. So it's a really great idea to think about creating a new vision board at least once a year. So Cheryl's going to start this experience out for us by showing you what a vision board actually looks like, and hers is amazing. And then she's going to tell us how to play with it, so you have a visual before we begin. So getting started on your vision board today will be different for each and every one of you. Some are already going to be clear on what their ideal life looks like, and they're going to spend the time today actively selecting images for their board. Others are going to spend time getting clear on what you want your life to look like. So be comfortable wherever you are. We are here to provide the experiential to create a vision board for you, no matter where you're starting. So hey, Cheryl, I think we're ready to create an amazing, soulful vision board.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see what's been created. First of all, just remember that your board is all organic. It's always changing. So what I did was built different types of boards, and they don't have to look like this, but it's just something to give you an idea. So first of all, we have our health, and then, you know, what things are important to you in your health and how is it going to show up in your life. Oops. Next, you have your finances. Every board is going to look different because everybody is individual. This is your vision, not the vision that other people set for you. This is exactly what you want to appear and to be relative in your life. In other words, it's going to manifest in your life. So about finances, you might put words. I have Ben Franklin's in the background here. So that just, you know, your abundance and everything else that's, you know, some aspect of your life around your finances and how you're going to look at your finances and how you want them to appear. And then relationships, like I said, every one of these is different, but they don't have to be. They can all have the same theme and all be, just like Gail said, a huge collage of different things. But like in your relationships, your family harmony, your friends, your relationship with yourself, very, very important. And if you look in the middle, there's this little gold character that's that is this Chinese symbol for forgiveness, and that should be in the center of all your relationships. So next of all, we have creativity. So you can just go wild with this. Just, you know, look at what you want, how you want it to appear, your creative expression to appear in your life, and that you are visioning what you desire to happen and what you desire to appear. And then your spiritual practices. This is actually the center of your board. It's meditation, it's your affirmative prayer, it's releasing false beliefs and gratitude and forgiveness. But this is all part of what makes your board work. So I just, for the last one, I put them all together, and then I put your spiritual practices in the center where it touches every aspect of these 4 different areas or the 4 pillars of your life. And like I said, this one, it looks pretty wild because it's got 4 different types of themes going on. But I just wanted to show you that it's not limiting. Nothing is limited by this. This is your individual vision. Remember that. And just know the things that you need to work on, but don't put on there anything that is an issue right now. Only put on there what you want to appear in your life. And now I'm going to hand it off to Brad, who's going to do a little meditation and opening prayer for us.
Great. Thanks, Cheryl. So I want to remind us that you are always welcome to have a piece of paper and pencil handy to take some notes on what you've already thought of and what we've shared already has inspired you. And right now, I invite you to maybe put the pen down because we're going to do a short guided meditation and then an opening prayer to really get us in a deeper space, to be receptive to whatever comes forth from within us to create our vision boards. And then we'll have some other participants here guide us through specifically each section of our vision board. So I just invite us to relax where you are. I can visualize some of us sitting on the floor or still in our beds in pajamas or outside with a glass of tea. Just breathing deep and breathing slow and breathing in that space to remind ourselves of the infinite presence of God that is right where we are. We breathe in that truth and we breathe out that truth to remind us that it's in our mind, it's in our body, that it surrounds us and envelops us. From this space, from this place, and from this breath, we allow ourselves to be open at the top. So allow that divine influx to flow in us, to flow around us, and to flow out of us. And however our activity and our vision board decides to show up. That in this time and in this gathering, of all the participants and ministerial students, we continue to be open and receptive, allowing that fullness of the infinite God to flow through us, to percolate, to resonate, to circulate in our minds, in our hearts, in our ideas. I can feel the peaceful sense of this space and this place where we definitively and gracefully know and allow the divine to be right where we are. From this perfect sedentary place, we move into prayer. As we know and accept and acknowledge the truth of this time as God showing up as this time together. Recognizing the infinite presence of the divine, of the infinite that is God, that is spirit, that is everywhere, that is everything. And I recognize my oneness with it. That the allness of God, the allness of the infinite is right where I am, that is in my mind and my heart and my body and the cells of my being, percolating, circulating, and thriving in every aspect of my expression of my soul. And from this place, I am more deeply receptive than ever before to receiving the impress of the divine through this time together, on this call, on this event, knowing that divine inspiration that I need specifically, that is pertinent to me and my life and my healing and my wholeness and my perfect expression, flows effortlessly, gracefully, perfectly, serenely and abundantly in this time, right here and right now. I allow and know this truth of this word, of this prayer to continue to be this experience, my life, and this session together. That every word I hear inspires the presence and word of God within me to a higher level of divination. That every idea I think is divinely inspired to support me in knowing the truth and the fullness and the abundance and the power in my health, in my finances, in my relationships, and in my creative expression. I give thanks for this truth. I give thanks for this prayer. I give thanks for this word being so right here and right now. With another deep breath, I give grateful thanks for this truth. With another deep breath, I give grateful thanks that the law has taken this word and made it so now. With another deep breath, I relax into this and just allow the amazingness of spirit to be the amazingness that is my life right here and right now. I release this word. I release this prayer to the presence and power of law that makes it so right here. And so I let it be, and so we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And now we move to the next part of our presentation of a section of our vision board.
Thank you, Brad, so very much. That was extremely moving. And I especially needed it in ways you don't even know. It is so wonderful to have Spirit move us. And thank you all for joining us as we create this vision board. So let us begin with a pillar of health. What images reflect my vision of health I am ready to experience? Again, what images reflect my vision of health I am ready to experience? Allow yourself to feel that question. What images reflect my vision of health I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of health I am ready to experience? What are the words express my vision of health I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of health I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of health I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of health I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of health I am ready to experience? Again, what symbols represent my vision of health I am ready to experience? Now we focus on the pillar of relationships. What images reflect my vision of relationships I am ready to experience? What images reflect my vision of relationships I am ready to experience? What images reflect my vision of relationships I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience? And lastly, what symbols represent my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience? And finally, what symbols represent my vision of the relationships I am ready to experience?
And so at this point, I invite everybody to take a nice big breath of air in. And as we exhale, let's just let go of any information that's come through up to this point and just clear ourselves as we move into the next two pillars. Next, we move into financial prosperity. So let's just open ourselves up to whatever comes through, knowing it's absolutely perfect and represents what is deep within ourselves that yearns to be revealed for our life to be expansive, to be vibrant, to be fulfilling. And so we ask ourselves, what images reflect my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience? What images reflect my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience? Next, let us ask what words express my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience. What words express my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience? Now, what symbols represent my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of the financial prosperity I am ready to experience? I invite you now to take a nice big breath of air in. And as we exhale, let's just clear our mind of anything that's come up to this point. Just come back to a place of openness and receptivity as we enter into the pillar of creative expression. So our first question is, what images reflect my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? What images reflect my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? What words express my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? What symbols represent my vision of the creativity I am ready to experience? Let's take another big breath of air in. And as we exhale, just allowing ourselves to just be with whatever is coming up for us and just letting go of all imagery, all words, all symbols, just coming to a place of openness and receptivity for two final questions. The next question is, what spiritual practices do I need to do that will nourish the demonstration of all that is on my vision board? What spiritual practices do I need to do that will nourish the demonstration of all that is on my vision board? Let's breathe in and exhale. One final question. Is there anything else that needs to be revealed? Is there anything else that needs to be revealed? We just listen with an open heart and an open mind to whatever is coming through. And so I invite you now to take one more breath in. And as we exhale, let's just open up our hearts and our minds to this wonderful experience of revealing imagery and symbols and words, things that resonate with our heart's desires. And just allow ourselves to know that this door that is open for us is always there to see the richness of life as it comes through us. And so knowing that even though we are bringing this vision to a close right now, it is always open for us to receive symbols and words and pictures that represent whatever it is on our heart that is yearning to be born by means of us, through us, as us. Knowing that that is our life to live. It is the goodness of spirit as it expresses by means of each one of us. And so as we begin bringing our attention back to this time that we are in of creating a vision board, I invite you just to bring your awareness to this time. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes so you get back in touch with your body temple, breathing easily and effortlessly, allowing your focus and your attention to be here, present, grounded, centered. And just allow yourself to take the time to come back to our wonderful class and just be with the rest of this wonderful learning that we are sharing with you from our hearts to your heart, knowing that this is how we bring life to life by means of us, by listening to the heart, by letting it express, knowing that our individuality is so a part of this world each one important, each dream important. And so let's come back. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, and we will continue with beloved Lori Savage.
Wow, that was wonderful. All the images and the words that were just flooding into me. And I know I'm going to spend the rest of my day on a scavenger hunt, looking for those images and placing them on my board. And once I do, that vision of having a vision board will have demonstrated. I will have taken action on it, and I will have something in physical reality that is tangible. And that's really what I want to talk about. That's what excites me, this taking our vision into our experience and having it in our life. You know, vision without action or experience, they say, is hallucination. And that's been said in so many different ways by so many different people. I couldn't even find the original author of that quote. So that's what I want to look at today. And this whole idea really came from Dr. Joe coming across his vision boards while he was cleaning out his garage or whatever he was cleaning out, and noticing that they were now demonstration boards. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's what we want. We want demonstration boards. So how do we do that? Well, we've begun the process here. We've gotten clear on what we want. That is absolutely the first step. The creative energy of the universe rushes in to support us in whatever we choose, but we must choose what we want. We must direct the flow. And then we sit with our vision boards and we notice, is anything coming up as I look at this? Because what we should be feeling, or what we could be feeling that's useful, is a sense of expectancy and excitement and knowing it is done. And if anything else shows up for you, you might want to go back to the question, what must be released in order for me to ignite my vision? So making sure you are clear, not only in your thought and your vision, but that there is nothing in you that opposes what you're looking at in your vision board. I like to think of the metaphor of the hose. If you've ever watered your garden and got a kink in your hose and the flow goes down to a trickle, well, that kink in this metaphor is a belief that is not in alignment with your vision. So we want to make sure there's no kinks. And then we want to make sure that our hose is pointed in the right direction, because you may be having all this incredible energy flowing through you, but is it pointed in the direction of your desires? It's like putting the hose out in the street instead of your garden. So bringing it back and focusing your energy on where you want to be. I love that metaphor. And then, of course, spiritual practice sits at the center of our board because it's so important. It's what energizes our vision. It is what has us understanding we are not the hose, we are the divine flow. And when you get to that place, when you spend the time in meditation, when you spend the time in visualization and affirmative prayer, that energy is just flowing as you. As Ernest Holmes said, creative energy can only do for us what it can do through us. So going back to being that conduit and bringing that creative energy through. So we're clear, we're open to the divine flow coming into our lives. And then we can begin to go from vision to demonstration. When we do our spiritual work, another thing happens. It infuses our life with ease and grace. That means the action that we are inspired to take is filled with grace. Things just show up out of the seeming blue. Of course, they haven't shown up out of the blue. They have been, that seed was planted in mind and they come to you, but you need to be taking action. Demonstration comes from within, not from without. So sometimes I ask myself questions like, what would what does a financially successful person do? Like, how do they demonstrate financial success? That's a question that just gets me in alignment. So, uh, uh, being clear and making sure that you're pointed in the right direction. Again, doing your spiritual practices, which brings ease and grace into your life and into your action, so that as you're divinely inspired to do something, you're doing it with ease rather than struggle. That's where spiritual practices is so important. I know when I am prayed up, I'm excited. I then can look at my vision board and absolutely know it is done. I have a sense of excitement and expectancy, and it just wells up inside of me until I am moved to take the action that is in alignment with it. So taking action is really key, but that action needs to come from a place of knowing, not of wandering about. We have direction, we have clarity. So I really want to close with this quote that I found by Michael Beckwith on Facebook the other day. And I thought, wow, this is perfect. It just encompasses the feeling that I had around this. And he said, behind every problem, there is a question trying to ask itself. Behind every question, there is an answer trying to reveal itself. And behind every answer, there is an action trying to take place. And behind every action, there is a way of life trying to be born. So what is trying to be birthed through you? See it, be it, and know you already have it. Namaste.
Hi, I would just like to close this off with the thought that we are always creating in every moment of our lives without even being aware of it at times. So that's what the vision board really helps us with, is that it keeps the clarity of thought and it keeps us focused on what we really want. And so now I'd like to just end this session with a little closing prayer. And so if everybody will get comfortable and just be ready to breathe in spirit and to release anything that's no longer serving you. And just know with me that there is a positive force, a positive universal energy that is ready to express and ready to fulfill any vision that we put into this universal flow. And that my heart and my head is open at the top, ready for the divine ideas to just come flowing into my life. And I know that the board that I am creating right now is a visual affirmative prayer out there, ready, already in place, with every thought now right in front of me, ready to be experienced. And I am now in this divine flow of good and in the atmosphere of spirit, immersed in the divine ideas and the divine beauty of expression that is now coming forth from within me and is now experienced in my daily life. And I see the progress that is unfolding in perfect divine right order in front of me right now in this board that I am creating. I have clarity of mind, I have clarity of thought, and I know that I am in this total beautiful fabric of the universe, that my energy is now the energy of all people that are now participating in this sacred space, that I am that energy, as is each and every one that is now present. And from this aspect of knowing, from this beautiful space of love and kindness and goodness, I now release my word with so much gratitude for everything that has unfolded, for everything that has appeared in my vision during this process. And I am so grateful eternally to the loving spirit that always has my back, that is always ready to give anything I desire according to what I believe. And so I release my word knowing that it is already done, and so it is.
So it is. So we've got a little time left, and we're going to take some questions. And I think Cheryl, you were going to answer the first question that came up on our chat board. So would you like to take it from there?
Yes. Here it's from Mysterious Creation. And what's the difference between my words and affirmations for the board? I think absolutely nothing. Your affirmation should reflect your words, should reflect your thoughts. So everything on your board is an outpicturing from what's going on inside your head, and it's now appearing in this form of the board. It's just a positive reinforcement to keep you going. And the other thing to remember is that our thoughts are prayers. We are always creating prayer. It just depends upon how much feeling and how much faith and how much belief we put in behind each one of those words. And so I would just say that if you're building your board with words, know that make sure that they're the words that reflect your thoughts. Because remember, we always demonstrate twice. We first demonstrate in our thoughts and visualize what we expect to appear in our reality. So remember that when you're putting your board together.
Thanks, Cheryl. I'm going to take a question, and then William's going to be talking about some expansive ideas around visioning that we didn't address that might be helpful for some people. So somebody had asked, what was the last question regarding spiritual? That question is about the spiritual practices that will allow you to, your board and your demonstrations to nourish. The question was actually, what spiritual practices do I need to do that will nourish the demonstration of all that is on my vision board? So that's that question, something that you can tune into that tells you which practices are best for you to create that fertile ground for everything to demonstrate. Hopefully that answers that. William, do you want to elaborate on what Dr. Joe had asked us to address?
Sure, Dale. Thanks so very much. Yeah, Dr. Joe was, he's very big on vision boards, but also more importantly, he's also very big on demonstration boards. He has a great question that pertains to all these categories. And that is, what if I lived my best life in this category? Be it relationships, be it health, be it finances, be it your creative expression. Consider that. What if I lived my best in that particular category? But not only are we focused on those 4 basic categories, but within those categories, there's subcategories. And you'll know what those subcategories are as you allow spirit to come up and well up within yourself, and you listen to that innate knowing within yourself. You'll know what those subcategories are. It's okay to allow those ideas to expand on your vision board. Just allow everything to flow into yourself and allow yourself to put it down so you can physically and visually hear, see what it is you are driven to experience. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, and I think to elaborate, William, on what you just said, other things of subcategories, because there's so much within each one. For example, relationships. We have relationships with different people in our lives, maybe a husband or wife, children. And one that's a real biggie is our relationship with ourselves. So we want to make sure when we're going into these pillars, that we're being really open and widening our vision beyond what we think this stands for. So I think on Cheryl's board, I love that she had all these different parts of health. It wasn't just your physical health. She had emotional health, spiritual health, mental health. So when you're doing these vision boards, open yourself up, give yourself a really lot of time to spend with this. And something that we talk about as a group is that when we do a vision board, it doesn't just end there. We open ourselves up, and sometimes we add more things. I know with mine, sometimes I'll keep continuing to add more and more aspects to it, or images or words that I didn't originally think of. So think of just like we're works in process, so are our vision boards. And so just, the whole thing is to have fun with it. I want to throw it over to Brad. Brad, do you have anything to add about vision boards?
No, other than just don't hide it, put it right in front of your face. I was thinking earlier in our class today, where sometimes we may put it in our office or our bedroom, and maybe because we didn't want guests, coming in the door to see it or et cetera. Well, now we don't have guests coming over. So put it right in the front of your face, right? Whether it's on a kitchen counter and you have to move your board to get your cup for your coffee every morning. I mean, to really have it be consciously in front of you and subconsciously in front of you, to realize what you're looking at is the truth of your life.
And might I add, how about on the refrigerator? That seems to be the place I go the most often these days. So I'm going to put mine on the refrigerator.
Yeah. Gail, how about you? Do you have any other thoughts you want to add now that we're at this point of our session?
Yeah, the only thing that I would add is really a piggyback on what Brad said, is that as you're creating a vision board, that is just the start. And once you create your board and decide when it is that you're going to live your board, if it's daily, if it's twice a day, how you're going to experience that with your spiritual practices, that is what causes a vision board to become that demonstration board. And that's our goal. So live it, love it, enjoy it, and don't be afraid to keep adding to it. Things will continue to come up for you. You're now an open portal for all of these images to come forth. So just enjoy it and just allow it. And don't forget to love it and use it.
Thanks, Cheryl, or thanks, Gail. Cheryl, there's one more question and then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay. The first, what were the 2 levels of demonstration? First of all, you always have to be able to visualize what you want to experience in your life. So if you can't conceive of it in your mind, you can't demonstrate outside, because if it's all just disjointed things or disjointed thoughts where I'd kind of like this, but then this and this and this, you have to have that focus of thought, and that's what should appear on your board. So that's what you want to demonstrate. It's about focus, about what is it that you really desire to experience. And now I'd just like to close this out quickly, unless anybody else has something to say, to tell you that on May 6th, we have a very exciting thing happening. Karen Drucker is going to join us, and we are going to be the people that are going to be asking the questions. And so I hope you'll join us then, because we really, really have a lot of fun doing this, and we enjoy being with you every time we've done this. As you can see from some of our outtakes that we didn't know we were still online. We were just having fun. But so I hope you'll join us on the 6th. It's same time, 10 o'clock, and we love you all.
One last thing I want to share. Well, 2 things. First of all, what Karen Drucker is going to be leading us through is a chanting workshop. And so we're her guinea pigs, and we're going to be her examples. And I encourage you to join us. She's fun. We're fun. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun and spiritual expansion. And also, we all want to thank you for being with us today. And we would love for you to support our center and contribute. If you can, give a love donation. You can go through the website. Even though we are a thriving center during this time, because we don't gather together every week, we could use a little extra support from all of you so that we can keep doing what we're doing and open our doors wide when that point in time happens, and just give to our community that we love so much, and we miss you guys terribly. So support us if you can through the website. We appreciate you so much. We're grateful you're a part of this experience, and we're just thrilled and happy that we have this method of reaching out to you, and we continue to provide you with anything you need. You know where to find us. If you need spiritual support, you can call the office. Practitioners and ministers are here for you all the time. So please let us help you or support you, or whatever your needs are. We're here for you. So please do connect with us. Anything else my beloved classmates, soon to be ministers, have to say to our group?
Just love you all.
Love you.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.